let's talk to Candace first.
Vrai, simple. Illuminati ou pas, qu'est-ce que ça change? Tu te fais...
Baby, I'm sorry, not sorry. Baby, I'm sorry, not sorry. I'm not sorry for colonialism, slavery. I'm pretty happy with the way the Western world turned out. As Pat Buchanan points out, we didn't start slavery, we ended it. By the way, slavery, I don't know why you're obsessed with something from so long ago, but slavery's still going strong. In Northern Africa, you can go buy someone from Libya. Go to Libya, buy someone for $400 if you want. Go ahead. God, that would be an intense doc, right? Why doesn't some news team go do that? Go buy a slave. Is that legal? Can you get arrested? Is that like a global offense? If it was under the guise of journalism, surely you'd have a case. You free the guy later. Anyway, that's a tangent. Candace Owens has a new video out about white guilt. Let's just sample it briefly, shall we?
Are you or a loved one suffering from white guilt? Could you stop? My name is Candace Owens, and you are watching White Guilt. If I was walking down the street and I saw somebody punching himself in the face, I would probably keep walking. But I can no longer ignore this trend of white guilt. For those of you that are unaware, there is a growing group of white people in this country who have accepted the ridiculous notion that being born white automatically registers them as a social offender. They try to right the sin of their complexion by running around social media yelling at other white people for stating their opinions. For example, if white man A comments on Facebook, "I don't think players should kneel for the national anthem," then guilty white man B swoops in like, "You can't comment, you don't have melanin in your skin."
I noticed a lot of Asians saying that. Asians don't have melanin either, right? I saw this thing that said only people with melanin can comment, and amongst the group there was a couple Asians in there. Isn't melanin the pigment that makes you darker? I don't think yellow counts as a pigment. I don't think Asian people are yellow, by the way. That was a disgusting joke, and I apologize. I think that this concept of white guilt is bigger than just white guilt. I think that it involves the notion that I'm black and everyone's out to get me, the notion that I'm gay and every time someone's mean to me, they're out to get. I think I'm going to do a podcast on this. Chadwick Moore brought it up. He said that he thought he was, everyone hated him because he was gay, and then he just stopped doing that. Anti-Semitism, I think, is similar, where everything that goes wrong is the Jews. It's all the same sort of a crutch that absolves you from personal responsibility, gets you away from data, and brings you towards feels. Well, facts don't care about your feelings, as Ben Shapiro said. And it's worth examining this bizarre trend in America, this bizarre lack of culpability. Let's talk to Candace about it right now. Candace, are you there?
I am here.
We were just watching your white guilt video, and so this is when white people see the world as it's their fault, they've done everything bad. But I think you can extrapolate this concept to the opposite, which is I'm a victim, everyone's out to get me. And Chadwick Moore was talking about this. He said, people used to be mean to me, and I go, oh, it's because I'm gay. And then one day I just turned a switch in my head, and I realized, no, people are just assholes, and it's got nothing to do with my sexual preferences.
Hi, this is Anthony Cumia.
And hello, I am Gavin McInnes.
Together, we're Compound Censored.
And we'd like you to subscribe to our network that has more fantastic content you could shake a stick at. Use this promo code for a one-time super offer.
Do it. It's uncensored and oh so entertaining.
That's literally exactly what it is. People are insane today, and all of a sudden they've bought into this media concept. That's what it really is. The media is overselling this concept that if you are white, you should automatically be guilty because there are all of these other groups that don't get to benefit because you're white. And I thought this was just like an insane concept that was never going to click or gel, but apparently I go into my comments and there are white people arguing about you shouldn't talk because you don't understand this, because you're not black or you're not, a refugee, whatever it is. It's just insane. They're not allowed to have a moral opinion because of the color of their skin.
Yeah, I had that argument with Dante Nero, the comedian, black comedian, and I was saying, oh, shut up, you can't get in your car, knowing if you're going to live or not. He said, black people in my neighborhood, when we go for a drive, we don't know if we're going to make it home alive. And I go, what? And he goes, no, you can't talk about that because you have never lived it. And I go, yeah, but I have access to data.
Right. That is so dramatic. We don't know if we're going to make it back alive. That is the most absurd thing I've ever heard. And like my entire family lives in the hood. I'm from the hood. That's not a realistic thing, but CNN says it is. So people start repeating that apparently.
Well, it becomes a crutch to explain all your failures.
Right.
I would have a PhD in math, but the white man took it away from me.
Right. That's exactly right. I just tweeted the other day that what I'm seeing right now is this major split happening in the black community where it's victim versus victor mentality. And we're tired of it. So there's people like me that are saying we can't keep living our lives like this. There is no value in being a victim unless you're Al Sharpton or Jesse Jackson, right? And you figure out how you can make cash from it. But the only value is to understand that we live in the greatest country in the entire world. There's so much opportunity here for everybody. All you have to do is work hard and make good decisions, and you'll get a slice of the pie.
What you're describing is really an anti-crutch mentality. The anti-Semites, for example, everything that goes wrong. Oh, I had to sign a waiver when I went snowboarding. That's the Jews, the Jew lawyers. They would sue you if you blah, blah, blah. They ruined that. And the next thing you know, you don't have to think for yourself. It's like when you have a calculator and you catch yourself going 10 times 10 because you're so used to using the calculator that it just becomes a crutch. Anti-Semites, if it rains on their birthday, they blame the Jews. And I think a lot of black people who are obsessed with racism, if something goes wrong, it's because they hate me because I'm black. And then conversely, you have these whites doing the opposite, where they go, well, I can't do that because I'm white. I can't go see Black Panther because I'm white. In all three cases, it's people not thinking for themselves and being logical. It's them just relying on this. It's almost like a cult.
It is. And the thing that I think is most alarming is that it's being taught. Like I hit this in the video, but there are elements that they are taking home from school. They're learning this throughout their education, that they are a victim. I remember when I was in college, was forced to take a Feminism 101 class as a prerequisite. And every single element of that class was name something bad that happens to girls. I get called fat, and then they would say, this is because the patriarchy owns the media, and they have only projected images of women that are skinny. I swear to God, every single element of that class, you could walk in and say, I'm hungry, and she would say, this is because the patriarchy made you feel like you couldn't have
won't let you eat.
And I would call her out on it, and she absolutely hated me in class. She made me say after and write, I'm a feminist on the board, which I refused to do. I was like, I'll write something else, but I'm not writing, I'm a feminist. And she was like, were you sent to me from the men's department? And I was like, no, I was sent to you from the common sense department. Like, it can't all be because of men. So,
I've noticed that. Have you noticed in school when white men get up to say something, they have this caveat they start with where they go, I just want to say before I get started that I'm a white male and I'm obviously speaking in a position of privilege, so my words mean less than yours. I was one, and then they start the question.
Yeah, it's so stupid, and it's unfortunate that they can't see through it, that this is sort of just being created for them, and it's pathetic. It's really pathetic to see people walk around with their tail between their legs because of the way that they were born. I personally think that is purely a white person thing, though. I don't think you could possibly scam the black community into hating ourselves. I said in the video, I can't picture Rihanna like, black people, we just don't get it. It's just so crazy, It's just insane.
But that's true globally. I mean, I can't imagine a Mexican, a Samoan. I can't imagine any other group. Maybe Japanese. They're sort of doing it because it's the white thing to do. It's actually becoming like I think a lot of people who want to be WASPs are taking on ethnomasochism and hating Trump because they want to be white. It's like the cool thing to do.
Right. It's the cool thing to do, they think, and they also think it's like a token of their education, which is just it's gone absolutely berserk. I every single day I look at CNN and you see these people write these pathetic articles, these pathetic opinion pieces that, it's all my fault and I need to just shut up so black people can say things. And it doesn't make any sense. Anybody has the right to state how they feel about a moral position. You have a right to say that you think strangling puppies is wrong. You have a right to look at a case and say, I think Casey Anthony is guilty or not guilty. You don't need to be a single white mother to comment on the Casey Anthony case.
I know. Can we talk about sports if I'm not a professional athlete? Can I talk about world history? No one was in World War II anymore. There's like 3 vets left.
It's a very slippery slope if we start to accept that notion. So,
well, they do it with Halloween. Like, you can only dress up as things that you represent, and you're like, so I can't dress up. I mean, I can be Gavin.
The toddler can no longer be Pocahontas. She can't be Cinderella because she was never a princess who lost her silver. So
when can you see Black Panther? Is it okay, like, after week 1?
No, actually, if you don't mind, wait until week 3. We're gonna go there first.
Week 3, I'm dying to see Wakanda.
It's amazing to see what the left has done. But I sort of appreciate these theatrics only because I think that it sort of widens people. It wakens them up to the fact that it has gone absurd. You can't possibly function in a society where that is this politically correct. You can't think this hard about every element of your day. Can I comment on this post? Can I go see this movie? Can I have this conversation with this person? So I don't know what they're reaching for at this point. Like, what is their platform that they're trying to?
It's bizarre because they're not only wrecking 2018. Everything in the past, like Friends, is in reruns, and they go, I can't watch this. Everything that now they're going through the past, ruining the past. Like Blazing Saddles is going to get destroyed soon.
It's not just the present, it is the past and the future that they are actively trying to ruin every day. Like, I had to draw a thick line in the sand when they said things about Friends. I'm like, that is like the greatest show ever. It is so friendly. It's called Friends.
It's called Friends. It's the most apolitical show on earth.
Right. I don't know what they're doing. You're right. They're just crawling through everything, attempting to ruin it. And it takes people like us to speak up and call it out for what it is, which is ridiculous. And there has to be more Black people in America calling it out for what it is, which is ridiculous, which is why I'm always retweeting. There's a huge movement happening right now that I've been calling out. The younger Black people are just not messing with this narrative whatsoever. They're making videos. They're calling it out for what it is, which is stupid. And as much as I can, I'm trying to perpetuate and add to their voices because it's time. It's definitely time.
That's wonderful. All right, last question. You're doing all this hard work. You're going to colleges. You're trying to demarxify academia. Do you ever look at these colleges and just go, I don't know if this is reparable? I mean, when you're buying cars, there's a certain level of car where the chassis is blown out and it's rusted right to the frame, and no mechanic wants to go near it. It'll be easier to build one from scratch.
But we might need a Kelly Blue Book for college campus. We might. That is correct. I don't know. I'm really optimistic, and that might be because I'm more focused in the Black community. Like, Charlie goes out, and he's obviously mobilizing these conservative voices, which were kind of being drowned out by these liberal lunatics. When I go out, I'm looking for these young Black conservatives, and I'm telling you, they are not, as much as CNN tries to pretend that these are all Black Lives Matters spawned. They really aren't. My inbox is flooded with Black people saying, I know something is off. I mean, we just look at our families. It didn't work out for our families, right? So what are we going to just get on the same hamster wheel and repeat the same thing? So I'm like super optimistic about the Black community. And yes, some of these colleges are infested, but that's just because many times when you see these riots and protests, they're actually funded. These people don't even go to the colleges that they're rioting and protesting on.
Right, yeah.
We're seeing a lot of that too. But yeah, I really think we've arrived at a turning point.
So Blacks within individual colleges can be saved. But as far as colleges go, I think Brown, Berkeley, Hampshire, write them off.
Right.
Sorry.
Right. And a lot of their donors, it's funny, a lot of the donors to these colleges reach out to me and they say, it's like, I don't even want to write checks to these colleges anymore. And that's what Charlie has realized successfully. That's why he encourages these students to win races on schools, that they're able to control the budget. And if we can sort of, cut them off by the ankles and say, if you're going to keep promoting this lunacy, we're not going to give you any more money, then part of the battle will be won. But unfortunately, I've heard George Soros has a spawn, and he's even worse than George Soros was.
Yeah, they are losing money. Mizzou lost, I think, $80 million or something from their alma mater fund.
Right, and we actively tell their donors, like, just don't donate until you see them making some corrections on campus.
Right. All right, Candace, well, we're out of time. It's a pleasure as usual, and good luck on your quest to save academia from itself.
Thank you. And next time when it's Valentine's Day, please wear pink.
Oh, my God, I forgot all about that. I got to go get my wife some flowers, and you some flowers, my mistress.
Yeah. Yes, do that right now.
Coming up. All right, Candace, thanks for coming on the show.
Peace.
Peace!
So, if you enjoyed that clip,
Then subscribe to Compound Censored using this promo code.